Bear, it was a really strong start, but just couldn't carry it through for that final quarter.
Yeah, we had two really bad 10-minute patches, one in the second quarter and one, obviously the first 10 minutes, they got the first three centre clearances, kicked 3 goals inside 4 minutes, and they had all the momentum and they were able to capitalise every time they went forward, they kicked a goal, so it was really disappointing.
What do you think was the cause of that, those lapses?
It's concentration, pure and simple. A few of the guys were just thinking about themselves rather than the team as a whole, so the centre bounce stuff, they were just getting at the same spot, the same guys running onto it, and it's clean inside 50, and that was the difference in the end.
It was a pretty fierce contest today. Who stood out to you?
I think both midfields were quite good, but obviously Darley and McCulloch were both good. I thought Tilbury did a reasonable job on Mott. I didn't think Mott's influence on the game was huge. Bailey Walker down back, I thought was really good. Nick Lee did a roll on Webster, sacrificed his own game. Like Webster last time we played had a massive influence across half back. He didn't have that today, so we were really disappointed that we couldn't come away with 4 points.
So did you feel earlier in the week you were talking about bringing the pressure to the contest? Did you feel the boys brought that pressure?
Oh,
today?
Absolutely. As I said before, it was just 2 10-minute patches in the second and start of the last quarter that we went away from how we want to play with our one-on-one, and apart from that, our intensity and the effort at the contest was really good.
Tommy Reeves had a really good performance today, kick 2. He's becoming a very valuable player for the side.
Yeah, I'd love to have Tommy every week. Obviously working with someone like Cole up forward, it's a pretty simple game plan in that aspect for Tommy. He's just got to try and get front and centre. So Tommy still needs to improve on doing that, and we're going to keep working with him to ensure that he's getting front and centre all the time, but he's going to be a very good player.
It wasn't the best game for Cole today, but he does lift the forward structure and give plenty of opportunities to players like Keeling.
That's our, we tell all our small forwards get front and centre to Cole. Gunther did a reasonable job on him, but Cole's just so strong. If I was a small forward, I'd be just sniffing around his feet all day. Obviously, you touched on Aussie Keeling. He's showing some signs. He just needs to get some consistency in every effort, which will come from working hard during the week and developing good behaviours, and then it'll translate to a 4-quarter performance for Aussie.
And how's Kilpatrick going? Because he came off pretty sore in the third term.
I reckon he's a couple of weeks with a hamstring, which is disappointing.
It is disappointing because he's been one of your best players. So.
Yeah, he's had an outstanding year. Probably even since the state game, I reckon his game's gone to another level, so we're going to miss his drive off half back. So we'll just have to reassess and see how we structure up next week.
On to next week. It's a big challenge going up against Launceston, especially after they knocked off Lauderdale today.
Yeah, they've been in good form. Obviously having Riley back, Blackberry's getting more game time. Harper in the midfield's a big bull. Fletcher Seymour's having a good year. Thorpe obviously up forward, so it's going to present some challenges, but we need to just focus on the learnings from today first and foremost, and then we'll hook into Launceston on Tuesday onwards.
Piquet was looking for a response from the side today. Was that the response you were looking for?
It was a good step in the right direction. It was probably, after the last couple of weeks, it was probably good coming here, playing on this ground, sort of slippery day as well. It was a day where it was never going to be easy. It had to be hard footy to win. North Hobart, I think they're a classic example of how win-loss can be really deceiving, because I think their win-loss is exactly the same as this time last year, but they're a mile better team. They did a good job recruiting some senior players, so that they're not just a bunch of kids anymore, and that's given some real structure and also some real strength in the contest. They've also obviously worked really hard with their fitness and strength as well, so it's a credit to them the way they're coming along, and they made Lauderdale work really hard last week. They made us work hard today. I was pleased with the way we played, but I said to the guys afterwards, that's our footy. That's how we expect to play. And so while it's pleasing after a couple of down weeks to get back to it, for us that's just the way we should play every week, and we've got to make sure we stay really focused and roll out the same sort of performance next week.
It was a bit of a slow start from the boys, a goalless first quarter. Why do you think that was?
I just think we wasted opportunities. I thought in the first quarter, we missed some shots we should have kicked. Aidan Grace will tell you that his point was definitely a goal. He celebrated it pretty hard. And also just a little bit of composure going forward, where we had, some really good space in our forward line and just didn't quite have that composure to let it develop. So, the numbers at quarter time told us that we were on top. And our focus today was really 4 quarters of hard footy, so it was easy to speak to the group and just say, well, we didn't get the reward in the first quarter, but we're playing the footy we want to, and just stick at it and it will come. And I thought our second quarter was really good and the boys got right on top.
How impressed were you by the boys' attack on the footy?
Yeah, well, that was one of the, the pre-game stuff today that the guys came up with, and one of the things they put was attack on the footy, and yeah, they certainly get a big tick for that. I think clearances, I can't remember what it was, but it was a comfortable double-figure win on clearances, and it's a pretty good midfield that North Hobart have. They're no bunnies in there. They're good players and strong players. So, to have that sort of performance was really good. It was all over the ground too. I thought our forward pressure's been a real weakness this year. And I thought today the group we had in there stood up and really applied some heat when the ball went forward.
Lots of big performances today. Who stood out to you?
Reeves Mott was sensational. He gets tagged almost every time with North Hobart, and they send Tilbury to him, and Tilbury walks that fine line, and Reeves just puts up with it. And his performance today, the amount of hard ball he won, to the point where that tag was just ineffective, and they started using him with somebody else. And I just thought his ability in traffic on this really tight ground to just get that ball out of contest and then make really smart, composed decisions under pressure. Just a brilliant performance from him. Ryan Banks-Smith, we gave him the challenge of not tagging but going head-to-head with Sam Darley. And early in the game, he probably didn't get that quite right, how we wanted to do it, but he made the adjustments, and his final 3 quarters of football, not only did he do a good defensive job, he got a heap of the ball. His run was sensational. I can't wait to see his GPS numbers, and a 19-year-old kid going up against a guy like Sam, who, he's played AFL footy. He was also one of the absolute best in the VFL a couple of years ago. He's a quality player and real credit to Banger, and Harrison Gunther on Cole Garland. That's another one, like a 20-year-old playing on a really good footballer. Like Colin was runner-up best and fairest at an AFL club. He can play. And it's the second time Harrison's done an excellent job on him. I thought it was a great battle, 2 really good players, but really impressed with Harrison's ability at ground level. He was so clean and he made really good decisions, and those 2 young players, Harrison and Ryan, like a real credit to them. It's really exciting to see young guys like that be able to play on genuine stars and do a good job.
And how important is Aiden Grace becoming to your squad structure?
Oh, well, since day one he's been important. And, this year, obviously, we've used Jay in a different role and a few different roles. And, having Aiden there, and he's just starting to understand our forward structure, because what we do is a little bit different, and so it's against some of his instincts. And so he's had a really good year, but I think the best is ahead of him, because I thought today he really started to understand exactly how he could use it. There's a bit of freedom in that forward structure, but it's about being intelligent and making reads, and as the game wore on today, he did a great job of that. And Hugh Williams Jr. he's a very good player. He's played on Jay in the past and done a good job. He's one of the best medium defenders in the competition. So for Gracie, I think Gracie kicked 5. And that tells you that's hard earned against a player like Huey.
And today was Clinton French's 150th game for the club. How important is he to that?
Well, he'd be more important if he kicked his set shots through the goals. But it was really good in that last quarter. It's easy after you've missed a few to get a bit of the yips, but an important time he slotted that one through the big sticks, and that sort of put the game beyond doubt. He gives us a lot. He gives a lot of leadership up there, and he gives us some zip and a little bit of X factor. And the way he plays creates room for the others as well. So Clinton's important for us, but a lot of players are important for our structure and our team.
And looking ahead to next week, you've got Clarence. What are you going to be working on before you head off to the finals?
Yeah, look, we just said afterwards, today is sort of, we ticked off the non-negotiables. but nothing more than that. So next week we've got to roll up, do the hard things. Our pressure today was at a really high level, and it's pretty basic. When our pressure's good, we're good. The last 2 weeks our pressure wasn't there and we got shown up. So it's just going to be about doing those hard things, because when you get them right, the pretty stuff results from them, and that's the stuff everyone sort of gets excited about, but we've got to really focus on being excited about the hard stuff as well.